What's up, y'all? It's your boy, B-Boy, and we got episode 7 of the Think Tank podcast, and we have the usual guests, the boy T,
Was Gucci?
the boy Dom, aka Young Phenom, aka Still Yo Championship Points.
Okay. Hi.
That's good.
Alright, and we did miss a week, but if you guys didn't realize, we missed a week for a very good reason, kind of. But if you haven't checked it out, go check out our interview with Tord. It's a pretty good interview, and we would welcome all feedback on it. We understand it's not perfect, but hey, who's really out there getting interviews with Tord like that? Like, we're nobody, to be honest. But we're building up to where we want to be, and I hope you guys enjoy that. We'll link that in the description, and hope you guys can check that out. But we unfortunately missed last week, so we're going to catch up on some stuff from last week, talk about some stuff from this week, and talk about some stuff that happened this previous weekend. So we got a lot of catching up to do, so let's get right into it. Today's topics are going to be the two regionals and the SPE that happened, I believe, not last week, but the week before. The cup meta had shaping up, things change from week to week with these regionals happening, card leaks and all that. We also have something to talk to Dom about. We'll keep that a little bit of till later. And then we're going to talk about some Cosmic Eclipse stuff because it looks like pre-releases are going to be happening this weekend. And we want to get you guys as informed as possible to everyone who checks these out. You don't want to be pulling that garbage, or maybe you can trade for the stuff you need before it goes up to a really high price, or maybe trade away stuff before it drops down in price. So let's get right into it. Let's start off with the Atlantic City, where we had Mewtwo and Mew winning. What do you guys think? To be expected?
Alright, I'll start. So,
Alright.
there were 3 Mewtwo Mews in top 4,
Oh, snap.
which, yeah, that's that's disgusting. And I want to say 2 of them were playing Jirachis, which, is a little bit of a newer thing for the Mew 3 deck. Jirachi does add an extra layer of consistency. You're able to find, your welders, Cherish Ball, Mysterious Treasure, a little bit quicker. Also gets you, the custom catchers, everything in the deck actually, because most of the deck is trainer to help you, facilitate the combos of dumping Pokemon and then attacking. So I was really shocked actually to see that many Mew 3 in Top Cut after it flopping that last regional that we had. I think it was Sheffield. So
Sheffield, yeah.
yeah, I was really surprised to see like so many Mew top, but it was really good. Also, Pidgeotto control taking second in both regionals was also, I think, really dope to see. I don't understand how this happened, because I feel like Pidgeotto is a deck that kind of loses to what's it called? Pikarom. Because, getting one shot off your bench is kind of disgusting. Also, them having to play through all of the Mew 3 that were in Top Cut is also ridiculous, because Espeon Deoxys kind of just destroys that deck. So
Yeah,
the
on
fact that they were
paper,
able to
I don't
pull
see
off-
how this would work.
yeah, like I don't understand how they were able to pull this off, but I mean,
I can
was-
see
it
how
was
they
great
can
to
slow
see.
them down, but I don't see how they would win.
yeah, exactly. That's what I don't get.
Because you could maybe Articuno them before they set up a big tag bolt. What is it? Is it tag bolt? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Tag Bolt.
So you can probably Articuno that. But if they're smart, were these playing tag switch or anything?
Yeah, I think most of them are.
Yeah, well, it looks like they're super low. Like, this one only had 1. So what I was gonna say is, just put the 3 and 3, because even if you don't know that deck, you assume they probably have the Articuno just because it's like super. The GX is super annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say you just put 3 and 3 and then tag switch attack. And it went from non-existent to alright, we're cracking in the day 2 to now we fought. I think this is our first top 8, right?
Yeah. So that was really good. This is a Malamar podcast, if you couldn't tell.
Not really.
Been on that deck for a while, so
There's actually wasn't that many in day 2 either.
no. Which is crazy. So it did really well, and I was really excited to see that.
Yeah, so going over just a quick little, just in case you're living on the rock and didn't know what happened, we had the Mewtwo Azul winning with Mewtwo Mew, Pidgeotto Control in second, Mew and Mewtwo back to back for third and fourth, Pikarom at fifth, the Malamar at 6th, and then double Pikarom to round it out at 7th and 8th, and then 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th were all Pikarom.
The deck is bad.
I'm telling you, Pikarom.
I don't know. But now I can pull my handy dandy graphs out thanks to Complexity Card Game. Shout out. We'll try and link their Facebook up. They always do like little cool graphs with images and all that before. After every regional, which is really cool for analytics and people who like to break it down like we do. So it looks like the top 75, which I'm assuming was all of day 2, we had 27% Pikarom, 13-13 split with Ability Zard and Mewtwo Mew, and 11% Bucephalon, which is actually kind of surprising because I thought that was starting to fall under the water. 8% Malamar, 7% Pidgeotto, 7% Green Zard, 4% Guardian. The Mew. Oh, sorry. The Mew that was 13% was the Toolbox, which I'm assuming is the Psychic version. And this Mew Firebox, or maybe that's the normal one, but this Firebox has like the Ninetales and stuff in it. That was 3%, and along with Nagquag and Aerodactyl, Magnadel, and Ultra Necrozma. Whatever that deck is 4%. So, this is other. Sorry, this is all the other decks. We're 4%.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty spread out. So when you come to the percentages, does it like shock you anymore after you find out the numbers, T or Dom?
You could go first, T.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of shocked with. What did you say the number was for Abilities Art?
13, but if you combine it with Green Zard, 20% of top 75 was Zard.
I was really surprised actually that no Zards top. And I mean, like there are even no Zards in top 16. I think the closest one is 18th place.
Yeah, and this one's a Green Zard. It's not even Ability Zard.
Yeah,
The better Zard.
And then the next one's green.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. The better Zard, but still, like, it was really weird that deck not topping because it's been such a strong force since it dropped.
All the ability Zards were like 50th and 60th.
Yeah, that's nasty.
But yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like when you look at the percentage, whether it won or not, I expected Zard to have the biggest percentage. Period.
Yeah.
And the fact that Pikarom, for most people, came out of left field. I knew there was like the whole that testing squad all brought it together, but that wouldn't say 27%. Like there must have been, unless they just shared it with the whole. Maybe it was I don't know. I was gonna say all Americans, but this was American regional. I'm not too sure how to explain that one.
Yeah. It was just tell the squad.
Yeah, even if you combine the Mewtwo's, which was kind of a shock as well, it's only 16%. So I don't know. I can't really put my finger on how Pikarom just said, "Oh, we're here." Not that it ever disappeared, but that's more than a quarter of the whole day 2, not the whole regional, was Pikarom. So I don't know. It's a head scratcher for me, to be honest. What about you, Dom? What do you think?
I was just gonna say, should I go over the seniors standings for like
If you have them,
LAC?
because I don't, to be honest, so that'd
Well,
be awesome.
I don't have them, but I know people. So, um, I know that in seniors, like there was a Reshizard in seniors, and Blounds Naganadel won for seniors. So that's kind of unusual since like Blounds isn't really popular, and I don't think there was any. If there might have been one, it like top eighted worlds, I think. But besides that, Blounds hasn't been popping up too much in seniors. So to see it win AC was kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, that's different.
Any Picarons? Were they part of the network that got shared the list?
I'm not sure. All I know is that there's a Flareon, like that Flareon deck
Yeah.
with but it was like with Mewtwo's or something. It was weird. And then
Yeah.
there was Reshizard, and that's all I know. But it was kind of weird to actually see Blounds, because like has a weird matchup with Guardian.
Yeah, it just doesn't win at all.
Debatable. There's some spice out there, but
Is Guardian like a heavy deck in seniors?
yeah.
That's actually not something I would expect, because I would think Guardian. I haven't played it, but isn't it somewhat technical?
Not really. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Well, it depends on what version you're playing. If you're playing Guardian with like Green's coach trainers, but if you're going Guardy Judge, then like it's a little bit more technical with Judge, because you gotta like think about situations and stuff and like plan your stamp reset stamps, and then it's magical whatever its GX attack is that makes your hand have 0 cards. So yeah.
That's pretty interesting. I didn't think, because usually from the little that I know about seniors, they just like to do the like aggressive style decks.
Yeah, we tend to like aggressive style decks that take big knockouts quick. We don't like to really play like slow paced deck, like slow paced like Pidgeotto or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was gonna go over these Pikarom lists, but it doesn't look like anything out of the ordinary.
Oh,
Actually,
there's some
take that
names
back because
there
it
you
does
go.
look.
What is different about this?
So, some most Pikaroms have been playing just Lysander Labs and Thunder Mountain. But, like, I
Uh-huh.
want to say it's Danny's. Danny's is playing.
Oh, I just looked
The-
at the highest one.
Oh, no. Danny's is playing 2 power plants. So, you power plant and judge them, or you power plant and stamp them.
Oh, okay.
That's something Rowan's list. He played 3 stamps, 2 labs, which makes your Guardian matchup actually really good, because you just go stamp labs knockout, and then you basically say you put them in a checkmate position. If you get like, let's say there's damage on it, like 30 damage or something already on. If you go double E power, or I think triple 369, 150. Yeah, triple E power would knock out Guardian with full blitz, and then you just checkmate them with the stamp Lysander Labs, and then on a Raichu, so you could just bring it up and knock it out on the next Guardian, which I think actually Guardian's technically a bad deck in my opinion. It's up there with Malamar.
I don't know.
You think Malmo down?
Guardian always seemed like it should be broken, but every time I would see it played, it didn't like look broken. I just know every deck I wanted to play, it would lose to Guardian, so I was like, what the hell?
I think that since Guardian won that regional, everyone's ready for all of the fairy charms now. So, you see the Lysander Labs tech for just in case. Lysander's Lab can be used, defensively and offensively, which
I
again, a
don't know. I
quality I
think
really
most
like
people
in
are
Kingdom
just
Hearts.
like, if I face it, I'm getting top 2 or something. Like how I brought up when we talked about expanded. I think it was our last podcast. I was like, if I face Sable Garb, I'm probably doing pretty good already. Because anyone
Yeah,
who's taking Sable Garb to expanded knows what they're doing.
hopefully.
Unless it's round 1.
True.
But yeah, looking,
But
I
yeah.
think that's really it. There's nothing really too shot. These fossil decks are kind of interesting. I don't remember if they were popping up or at least placing in day 2 before. Maybe 1 or 2, but they're popping up again.
Yeah, there's always one.
Nagquag just seems the deck that just never gives up. It keeps trying and trying, which is kind of
Um,
my flavor deck right
There were
now.
a few in day 2. There was
Yeah,
like
we
a
had
few.
one at 12th and one at 14th. Then there was a few like lower down. You would think on paper they would beat these Picarams, but some of them were playing Power Plant and stuff.
I'm always gonna say that Quagnag is just like trash because you have to set up so well, like every game, to do well, and that's just not something you can rely on.
What decks can
Like,
really just set up haphazardly and still do good though? Malamar can't do that. I think the only
uh,
decks that can do it are like welder decks.
I'll like pause. I definitely think in any setting, if you set up haphazardly with Malamar versus setting up haphazardly with Nagquag, Malamar will still beat Nag.
Oh, versus each
Yeah.
other, yeah, but I meant just in general.
No, but like you need so much to go right for Nagquag. Like you need to get down Poiples. You need to get down your Wooper. You have to make sure your Wooper stays alive. Then your opponent targets down all of your like Naganadels and Poiples. Those are gone. Now you're not getting back energy. So now your Quagsire is useless. It's not doing anything.
I mean, you can
I
kind
feel
of
like
say
it was hype.
this. Go ahead,
Go
Tony.
ahead. Okay, I guess I'll
Huh?
go. I feel like it was Nagquag was hyped up because like the whole fire being super dominant in this meta right now.
Yeah.
The whole water beats fire thing, but
Yeah.
seeing that abilities Zard can actually beat Keldeo, and like you have all these other attackers like Turtonator, Bucephalon, Victini to kill the Keldeos, and it's just not good.
Yeah.
I like it, but I'm not gonna sit there and say it's like the best deck or whatever. I will admit, like, I was testing with someone who doesn't really play a lot of Pokemon, but he kind of plays a lot of different very card games, and he
Mhm.
made a valid point where like he was like, there's so many times where you're just like, oh please Keldeo, like you're just freaking sitting there with a Keldeo, and you're like, oh don't die, please Jesus.
Yeah.
I will admit there are a lot of times where I'm just putting up a Keldeo and hoping they can't kill it. So that's kind of a bad thing, because I think even with Malamar, there's not really times where you're like, I'll hope this Giratina just doesn't die or something.
You're always praying they knock out this Giratina so the spell
Yeah,
tag
with
doesn't.
Nagquag, you put up that. There's literally times you put up that Keldeo, you're crossing your finger, toes, doing a Hail Mary, like you're doing. You're like, please. But moving on, let's go to what's the other one? Atlantic City.
I was gonna say you want to do Cologne first and then the SPE.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what the other regional was.
Yeah, Cologne.
Cologne, aka Towards Domain.
True.
We had
Ninja.
Mewtwo and Mew winning this one again, and shocker, Pidgeotto to control in second again. That's so weird that it happened.
Right?
Pikarom in third, Guardian in fourth. Is this ability or greens? Reshi Firebox? What is? I don't know which one.
It's ability.
Another Guardian. Greens are, and then wrap up another Malamar in top 8, squeaking in there. on the
Yep.
AFC. So any shockers here? Is this these were the same day, right?
Yeah, these were the
Yeah.
same day.
Malamar's a shocker since like it's bad.
I would
Poor
say
guy.
it's a sharker just because like you usually don't see like Malamar like overseas. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe I just don't realize it. They usually
I
stick
mean-
to the big
Yeah,
boys.
I kind of agree.
They usually stick to the
I
big
mean-
boys.
Stefan, who got 6th place, he played Malamar at the previous regional, Sheffield.
Uh huh.
So I thought he was like one of the only good players playing the deck.
And
So,
even he was
and-
like, nah.
Yeah, he switched up, and even in his post after posting his Guardian list, he was like, "I played the best deck in the format," and I was just like, "Bruh,
And you got
that's
6.
a call." Yeah,
All much respect to him. Besides his hairstyle, I think he's pretty dope.
yeah,
Bruh.
but yeah,
What
towards
do you mean?
domain.
His hair is lit.
Bro, the man looks like the guy from Back to the Future, like all the time.
All right, back to
No disrespect, because he's a big player and I think he's pretty cool. But I'm just saying, bro, put like a headband on or something.
Oh my
You-
god, you're gonna get us in trouble.
For what? Tag me, dog. I'm not.
all right.
Just, but let
But
me
yeah,
see.
Torg
This
got
one
his
is...
first. Actually, this is funny. Torg got his first regional win in Cologne.
Oh, I thought you were
This
gonna
is
say
the
this
main-
year. I was gonna say what?
No, this is his first regional win.
This year?
No,
No, in general.
he wins a bunch of internet.
Oh, he
He
wins the
won-
important ones. I'm sorry, dog. That's like
Yeah.
you win the lottery, but then you don't win on a $5 scratch off. Like,
I was like, he won NAIC twice. He won what, Oceania, and then what
He's
else?
won too much.
Yeah,
bro, the man.
he's won
He's won so
NAICs,
much he had to hire like a tax lawyer probably.
right? He's won NAIC's top forward worlds. This is his first regional win.
That's actually is pretty surprising.
He even said in his post after day one, he was like, "This is my first time going 9-0 in a regional." And the man played a crazy deck to do it. So, who wants to go deep on this list, or is it just me?
The list for what the
For
Guardian
Tord's list?
towards
Yeah.
is this different than another one?
Yeah.
Oh, this
I'll
is
explain
the...
it. I'll explain
oh,
it.
God, I forgot. This is this one.
Okay, so basically with the deck, if you don't know what Shedinja does, it evolves from Durant. It's a stage 1 Pokemon, and its ability says you can attach this Pokemon as like a Pokemon tool, and when your Pokemon this card is attached to gets knocked out, your opponent takes 1 less. So you attach it to a Mewtwo. Your opponent knocks out that Mewtwo. They knock out another Mewtwo. They have 1 prize left. You reset stamp them, and then you knock them out or whatever you want to do. And you basically just reset stamp them to 1, and your opponent also has to knock out 3 Mewtwo's to win a game, which is also really...
Yep.
That's basically the whole purpose of the deck.
Cancerous.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
forgot.
and
It's
then-
been a week, so I forgot this was this list.
And then he played the Greninja GX from the Detective Pikachu movie
F that card.
with Miss Slash, so it can get around the Fairy Charms and Keldeo. Because Miss Slash is 130, and it isn't affected by weakness, resistance, or any other effects on your opponent's active.
You know what's funny? He
What?
could have just did Keldeo because it does the same thing but less damage. Keldeo can go
Bruh.
through Keldeo.
That's dope. I didn't even think about that. But doesn't Keldeo do 110?
Yeah,
Not
it does
130.
less damage, so that's why he
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah, and then this is also, I think, just 2 energy, if I'm not wrong.
Is this the bounce back one, so he could just do that too?
No, this is the one that brings itself out of the discard pot. No, it's out of the hand. Once during your turn before you attack, if this Pokemon is the last card in your hand, you may play it onto your bench. If you do, draw 3 cards.
How often do you think that was pulled off, if any?
Never. I was like, he's playing Mewtwo. You keep a really like decent hand since you're weldering like every turn.
Yeah, but as a Nagquag player, I hate that. But this looks
And
pretty.
then his supporter lineup is like super different. Like
Two
they're the
Hapus.
4 welders. Yeah, the 4 welders and then 2 Hapus and 2 reds. Like that
First
man is a
off,
beast.
the two Hapus are like, what the hell? But then he goes 2 reds, you're like, huh?
Like, all right, more discard outlets, I get it, but man, you get to computer search any card you want
You know
now
how
too.
pissed I'd be if I'm already like, oh god, this is Mew. What do they call it? What's the nickname for this? Not Mew 3, the other one, Perfection? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
They call it Mew Mew, but yeah, perfection.
So you're already like, oh god, this guy literally probably has any answers. And then he's like, oh, I can also search for any card in my hand. Like,
Yeah,
you're like, oh, you can't play greens, but oh, snap. You get like a pseudo greens.
yeah,
That's kind of lame.
and like kind of a big difference besides Shedinja and the Greninja, he's not playing Jirachi, the GX, to take away weakness, but instead he's playing 3 weakness guard energy.
I think that's clutch, because let's be honest, you're only using
Yeah.
the Jirachi, and, because Mew can hit weakness, right?
Yeah,
So you're probably only using that in the mirror match 90% of the time, and then like a couple Malamars if you face them.
yeah, but like it's also another way to play around power plant, because now you're not having a Jirachi that's getting shut off by power plant.
Is weakness
So you just
like
have-
colorless? Oh, it is.
Huh? So now you can have your weakness guard energy attached, and now when your opponent plays power plant, they're not hitting you for weakness still. In like Malamar.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a really dope idea, a really dope concept.
And then at the end of the day, like you're giving yourself more energy. I don't know if he cut down his fire. It kind of looks like he did a bit, because he even added the 1 water. I don't know if you didn't see that. He has 1
No,
water.
it's still 8 fires. I think he just added energy.
I feel like they used to run 10 or 11.
Nah, it's always been 8, because it's been 8 and then like 3 or 4 psychics.
Bro, what did he add this 1 water for? Is he really pulling off this Greninja attack that much?
Yeah, apparently.
Because it used to be like a few. I think he took away 1 psychic for 1 water.
Yep.
That's pretty interesting. Because that means he.
Yeah.
Not, I don't even think he did it for the Nagquag. I think he did it for. What was the other thing you said it was for? The charms?
Yeah, the charm.
That's probably what it was for, to go through the charms mainly.
Yeah.
That's pretty ridiculous.
So
Freaking Tord.
man is wild.
And that's why we interviewed the man, because he's the GOAT.
True.
Shameless
so yeah.
plug.
Check that out. But two Guardians making top 8 was also really interesting to see.
You know what was interesting to me? It's a little bit outside of top 8, but the baby Blounds getting 14th.
Baby
Yo.
Blonde is dead.
All he had to do was not tie, and he would have made it.
Really? You know the innards of his placing?
He was on stream, and he had to tie one of his games.
And then we also
And
have
that
Spirit
time-
Tomb showing itself again.
Yeah. This regional was really, really good.
Oh, here's
Like, there were a lot
Alright,
of
I'm gonna
decks.
bring this up because this is the deck that cost me my League Cup placement. Rampardos. Because when you're playing Nagquag,
Uh-huh.
this is annoying because it's just like, I mean, I'm gonna put it on myself because I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I knew how to play this matchup. I figured it out kind of halfway through, and where he just can't kill my Naganadels unless he uses his own Naganadel.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's 2-shotting everything. If I would have known that from turn 1, it would have been a completely different game. Also, I sat there with 7 water in play when I needed one
Uh-huh.
more to Wailord and send his whole deck into the Shadow Realm.
Yeah.
But rant aside, I think this deck is interesting. I don't know if it's like tier 1 or anything like that, but I think I think it can steal a regional, to be honest with you.
I feel like it has, and Dom, you can jump in anytime, but I feel like it has really good typings because, as fighting types, and then the Caracosta is also water. So you have two really good typings for the meta, fighting, beating, Pikarom, and then water for Reshizard. Aerodactyl GX is also just a really nice Pokemon. So it's a really like anti-meta-ish Pokemon, and you know me.
Yeah, but let me move on to before we move on to Capnus or Kim. I don't know how to say that. We got grass. We got grass. From complexity once again. I just like it because the percentages it brings a whole perspective, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So actually, this one is kind of hard to read. I'm not gonna lie, it's confusing the f out of me. Yeah.
Dom, while he's doing that, what'd you think about Cologne?
I didn't pay much attention about it. I was more paying attention about America because America and whatever that other country is are two different things. So I try to focus on USA meta, but I mean, Sheninja's kind of busted. Apparently, Baby Blounds. Apparently, that's starting to get a little bit bigger since it's like kind of good. Anything where you can play Welder is a good deck, so.
True.
And, I mean, Guardian, that's pretty cool. Here, I'll just pull it up right now. The Limitless thing.
I'm not gonna lie.
Shout
to you
out to
folks.
Limitless.
I have a graph, and I don't know how to read it.
Pidgeotto Control getting second at both is pretty cool. In my opinion, a best of 3 Pidgeotto Control is the best deck in format. And that's the truth. It beats everything.
Because the way I'm looking at this graph, it looks like it has deck versus deck. And I'm over here like,
Greenzard is still the best deck in format, as I got second at both cups with it this weekend, even though I'm a senior, but still.
yeah, we're
And
just gonna
Master also got.
we're just gonna
he
ignore
won a
this
cup with
graph
it.
because I don't know how to read it. I won't lie to you folks. But basically, using my own mental power, looks like we had a ton of Reshizard, ton of Blacephalon, shockingly. I see a lot of Blacephalon.
Whoa. Y'all can't just leave that out. There was a, what is it, Spiritomb at 15th at Cologne.
I mentioned
That's
that.
Y'all left that out.
I
He
mentioned
mentioned it.
Baby
Spiritomb.
Blounds and Spiritomb.
Oh, you said Spiritomb? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Said it right after.
Better have.
Oh, there's a Naganadel box? What is this?
Oh, no leaks.
What is it?
No leaks.
This has 24 Pokemon. What is this?
No leaks!
I wouldn't even know
Oh.
how to leak this.
I know, don't leak it at all, though. Just don't mention it.
Alright.
Wait, the one with
I got some
the
stuff
one with
in the
the
working.
Stack Attack at GX?
Yeah, it looks like they threw their GX binder on the floor. It's 42nd place.
This is like the purest form of Naga chest I've ever seen, really.
This is pure?
This is
Alright,
yeah,
just
like
for reference, I thought Nagaquag played a lot of Pokemon, right?
Oh, okay, it's...
That
okay,
has
this
more
list is...
Pokemon than Nagaquag. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Oh,
like
okay, this
24
list
Pokemon.
is bad, so you should play this list.
If you're bad.
look,
Yeah.
man, he got 42nd, so I mean, can't be too bad.
He almost
He
Nah,
won
that
some-
list is
he-
trash.
He got
The
like a
list is
quarter of
working
your points in
bad.
one tournament.
Huh?
This is true. He got a quarter of your points in one tournament.
How many points does top top 62 get?
100 or
Um,
something, probably.
I don't
100
know.
for top
I
62?
don't
No
know.
way, Jose.
60, 80, whatever. Anyways,
Like, it's like a cup.
moving on to what is it? Camping? I can't say that. I don't know how to say that.
Campinas.
I'm not saying it like that.
It's Spanish.
Yeah.
SPE Campine. What?
Campinas.
Anyways, we only have the top 8 from this, so just to go over it very quickly.
Okay, so Greenzard won the event.
Woo.
Broken deck, pretty standard, just your average 4 welder, 4 greens, no leucamine, 4 power plant, and 4 reset
I
stamp.
like how you said no
That
leucamine, like that was the biggest leak of all time.
That was a really big thing that was really being talked about, apparently. So,
What, leucamine?
because it makes your Mewtwo matchup so good, because you just go reset stand, power plant, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
Stealthy Hood is definitely a key. I think with Greenzard, you make your matchup 90-10 Greenzard favor in the Ability Zard matchup with Stealthy Hood, because that means you just go Flare Starter, turn 1, 3 energies, Welder, and then you go Knockout on a Rushy Zard, and that sets the pace of the game so much.
What does
that-
Stealthy Hood do versus abilities art?
They
Means
can't
that
9-tails it,
can't bring you
and
up.
Distortion Door doesn't work
so
either.
you set it up so then they can't. It only goes up when you're ready.
Yeah.
Distortion Door doesn't work either in Malamar.
Okay.
So that also makes your Malamar matchup good.
And then they have
Here's the
So,
part that I
that's
like.
pretty
about
good.
the deck. The
And
part I
like we
like
saw
about the
in the
deck is
finals,
fun.
it was Ability Zard versus Green Zard, and sure he used the hood both games, because it probably only took 2 games. Pikarom getting third, another Green Zard, Ability Zard, another Pika. Mewtwo 9-tails.
That's
What?
interesting. Why don't you go over it, Dom?
Okay, wait, am I echoing or something?
No, you're fine. Take it away, dog.
Okay. Alright. While they're laughing, I'll go over this. So, 4 Jirachis, 3 Dedenes, 2 Mewtwo's, which is kind of strange, but 2 Vulpix, 2 Ninetales, 1 Reshi, 1 Charizard, 1 Makarko, 1 Blounce GX, 1 Heatran, 1 Victini Prism Star, and 1 Tapu Fini. Okay, this list seems jank, but can't knock it till you try it.
Freaking Dom is going for throats.
Right?
4
Leonardo
Warrior, 4
Barbosa.
Cherish,
Watch out.
4 Communication. What's the why? Oh yeah. 4 Fire Crystal, 3 Switch, 1 Palpad, 1 Stamp, 2 Escape Boards, 3 Hearth, 1 Factory, Heat Factory, and 13 Fire. Okay, so it's basically Firebox with Mewtwo and a bunch of attackers that are fire dependent.
Yes.
So going over it, we literally had, because Graph Time, Complexity, shout out, sponsor us, maybe. Green Reshizard was 25% of the meta. Ability Reshizard was 25% of the meta. Up top 8, by the way, because they only have top 8 for whatever reason. Pikarom was 25%, and Mewtwo and Mewtool Blocks was 12.5, Mewtwo and Mew Fire Blocks was 12.5. So you have 25% Mewtwo decks, 50% Zard decks, and Pikarom 25%. Now this is more what I would have expected from the American regional, maybe not 50%, but you know.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to point out about both of the Greenzard decks is both of them play Judge Whistle, which for anyone that knows me locally knows I love Judge Whistle just for the upstart theory from Yu-Gi-Oh. It just draws you an extra card.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's a real.
When we first talked about rotation, there was very few cards where I was like, I think these are gonna be huge. Judge Whistle was one of them. I was like, we're gonna be so bricked. I think drawing one card, even if you're not playing the judge, is gonna be worth it. And I'm just
Wishful.
kind of shocked that it hasn't been.
Yeah. Even last format, if for anyone locally that watched, I played for Judge Whistle in Zoroark just to, draw an extra card and or get back Judge because, it acts like a verse seeker in that sense too. But like
Why
just
though? You have trade in Zoroark.
yeah, you trade and then you draw an extra card. It's just a deck filler space because you don't want to add bad cards to your deck.
Yeah, but you could have played 4 useful cards.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
it's
that's
not a
yeah,
bad
that's
choice, but it's also like a why not just trade better?
No, it's two. You play 2 Judge, so that way you're able to discard one, and then Judge Whistle can get you back Judge whenever you want it at any point in the game.
Well, apparently it was good because it apparently drawed everybody the cards they needed that played it this weekend at Fresno.
Oh, that happened?
Yeah, one of the people playing it said it helped him 3 out of the 4 games he played. So
Nice.
Yeah, it's just not clogging your deck with bad cards, and it's an extra draw card.
Also, to keep in mind, as far as an SPE goes, I forgot to mention this for the other tournaments, but they had 158 people. It's pretty big, to be honest. For what is this? Is this Brazil? Yeah, Brazil.
Yeah.
And in comparison, obviously, well, not obviously, but if you had to guess, the American one was the biggest with 762. But a little shocking to me, surprisingly to me, Cologne, which was in Germany, had 726, so not too far away from the American region.
Good damn.
Anyways, so overall, between the 3 tournaments, what do you guys take away from this? The way I'll start since, sure, why not? My takeaway is if you want to get top 8, you play some type of Zard. If you want to win, you might have to play like Mew or maybe Pikarom or something like Oddball or like Not Expected. What about you guys?
or
Dom,
Magnet.
Like I'm saying,
Dom,
if you need points, I feel like you play some type of Zard. Like, if you just want to get to top 8, play Zard. Not saying that you can't win with it, but I think in order to win, you're gonna probably have to play like Mew, know more matchups and ins and outs and stuff like that, or play something unexpected like random, or like a deck and then add some weird twist to it like Tor did with the what is it? The stupid bug.
Greninja.
What? Shininja, yeah.
Greninja.
So that was my takeaway. Did you guys take away anything different from the 3 regionals as a whole?
Dom, go.
Green Zard is the best deck in format. So I like to from it.
My thoughts on it, Pidgeot Control is a really strong deck, having made 2nd place at Cologne and Atlantic City. Both are 2 really different builds too, but it just goes to show you how strong the deck can be in a best of 3 setting. Mew Mew winning just shows that being a really good player and knowing how to pilot this deck can take you pretty far. When it comes to talking about like just playing a deck to get points, I think Pikarom was actually a really good call because I think Pikarom is actually a really strong, fast, consistent deck, and it can do a lot of things. So that's always something you want in a deck. So winning the tournament, I think it can also do that, but Mew Mew is just proven to be like super strong in that so far. So those are my takeaways. Also for Campinas, it definitely goes to show if you tech for your intended meta, you'll go far because 4 power plant to take on Mew Mew took that guy pretty far.
Get dumpstered.
But I was gonna ask, did you want to do the topic of what people think is more important for the comments, regionals or SPEs?
Sure, we'll touch on it quickly.
Aren't they the same thing, basically?
They give the same amount of points.
Yeah,
Then they're the same thing.
it's basically like how we talked about in the last podcast, where it's like, do we think American regionals or did we talk about that, or was that just something I brought up?
I think it was just something you brought up.
Or do we take American regionals harder than we do like overseas, to where like, oh, if Charizard won Atlantic City or whatever won Atlantic City, we would take that more seriously than like if some random deck won Europe. Like I said before, I used to just, not that I would disregard like overseas tournaments. I would look at it, but to be honest, I was like a conceited dude. I was like, oh, these decks are trash. So I would like kind of like not even give them a chance unless they're like already like decks that are popular out here, and I would heavily be influenced by the American meta. But as more I've been getting into the more technical side, and as Tord is basically saying this is my card game, it's hard not to deny that like they're like, whether you agree with what they're building or not, they definitely are becoming more and more influential, like towards American lists and everywhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, when it comes to, regionals and SPEs, not even just like overseas regionals, but like regionals as a whole, I think those should be taken into consideration no matter where they are, just for the sheer number of players. Because SPEs, though they give the same amount of points as regionals, they usually have like a lower attendance rate.
Yeah.
I remember like last year and the year before, there were a bunch of American players traveling to SPEs and just winning them to farm points for top 6.
Yep.
And you're able to do that because there's not really a big cap on those. But that's a great way to farm just 200 points freely.
Yeah,
and
if you're trying to be your
like,
top 16, you got to do stuff like that.
Yeah, and like this one had 158 players compared to the other two having 700.
Yeah.
So
and
you can tell,
in
like,
comparison to previous SPEs, the Melbourne one had 127. So it looks like that's like about average, about 100 plus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say depending on who does well at the SPEs, it's not really like,
so you think
for
it's
us
more
to
of like a person base, like if it's 8, like, not, no disrespect, but if it's 8 Joe Schmoes, you're like, I'll look at it, but but if Tord or like Azul or somebody who's over there and they won, you're like,
a bunch of good players, then you're like, okay, let's check this out, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my take
Dom,
on that.
do you feel any differently?
No, not really. You guys basically said everything I was gonna say, so.
Also, quick little roll off, just because I'm curious and it just came to my head. For all these master tournaments, like, me and T can just literally go to Limitless. How do, like, seniors, like, communicate about, like, what's doing good? Is it just more of a, hey, you talk to, like, people, or, like, how do you guys tell each other?
I mean, if you know people, I think it's more of an advantage, because, like, get to talk to people and know what people are playing more. Because I'm not traveling to any events this year. Well, no, like, I'm not going to, like, Knoxville and Florida, Daytona, whatever.
Wait, are you not going for your top 16?
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
But, when the Pokemon company posts it, I guess we, like, see what that is, like, see the top 8, but I wish Limitless posted seniors.
So it's more of like, you just gotta know people and spread the word.
Yeah, and I think juniors feel the same way, probably. They probably want be able to see, because people take seniors for granted. It's really hard to get points at, like, regionals and stuff for seniors, because we don't have a day 2. We only have a top 8.
Yeah, I would say it's hard just because, like, you can pretty much guess who's going to be at that day 2. You're going to be facing this guy who you face at your locals, or this guy who you guys have played each other about 20 times.
Yeah.
So it's usually someone like in your testing group or someone you talk to or something like that. So it's like if me and T were facing every regional, I mean it'd be dope. But after a while, it's like, oh man, I just gotta bring my A game out every damn regional.
Yeah, and it's normally the same like 4 to 6 kids in top 8. So it's like there's those 2 random Joe Schmoes that sneak in.
That kind of sucks, but to play devil's advocate, I can kind of speak for like the limitless side. Like I'm sure it takes a lot to get all these like lists and stuff. So much respect to them. And to be honest, besides from like seniors and parents and stuff, I don't know how many people would actually like. No disrespect to seniors, but I don't think many people would like go look at that.
Care about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which sucks. It is kind of interesting. I'm glad I brought it up. Because it's like, I assumed it was just like, basically the good people getting better because they just tell all the other good players. But like, if you're like an average player who's just trying to crack in, it might kind of suck because you got to either be at that regional, hope they're streaming it, or just like hope someone posts it on Verbank or something. Because I don't even think they post it on Verbank, right? Like, you don't see like seniors saying top 8 seniors or anything, right?
No.
Maybe our regionals we like on Verbank or Hey Fonte will post a list, but we're not like normally like after we win a cup, because normally our cups have like 6, 7, 8 people, so it's not really something to brag
like
about.
some huge group chat, or how does that work?
No leaks, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I know.
He's not sending smoke signals, like.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I'm
just honestly curious, like, because
I don't know what other people are in, like, but all I know is I'm in a group chat with a bunch of like really good players.
Mm-hmm.
But normally, what I do for events is I just don't mean to brag or anything, but I just use like my my good master friends list that I trust as a player, and I just do well with them.
I was just honest because I didn't know.
I was like, hey, that's what masters do with each other's list. It's all good.
Yeah, I was just like, I assume they're just, hey, but you know, like, I don't know. But moving
Us
on.
seniors in the group chat or whatever, we just like, we post a list for 3 seconds and then remove it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, terrible.
It's
you guys are like, hey, if you're not
it,
there, you're missed out.
It's a real no leaks group chat. Jesus.
That shit, that's like Snapchat. You better, don't let go. Don't let go of your finger.
Shout out to the people in the group chat. You know who you are.
But, T, I think you had something that you want to mention about a certain someone.
Oh, you know what? You're right. So, everybody, Dominic is officially at 414 points, which means
22,
he now has an invite. Huh?
422.
You're 422?
Stunning.
Oh,
the extra 8 points.
My second replaced my top finish.
Hecka good. So 422 points, which means my nephew is going to Worlds.
Clap it up. I don't want to clap because the mic is right here, but hey,
congratulations.
Comment down below.
Thank you.
The young
comment down below. Congrats,
AKA Mr. Studio CP.
Yep.
Oh, gosh.
Which means we going to Worlds.
Yep.
I hope you're saving up.
But,
and yeah, I'm really proud of you. I'm really happy that you come this far. And
Thank
Jesus,
you.
it's only been 2 months. So have your invite this quickly, man.
I think we talked about it like the first podcast you were on. Last year you didn't do too hot from what I remember, and this year you exploded. Why don't you before, because we're gonna roll into like what you did at the Cups this weekend. Where did, like, can you do a quick synopsis on like how you got your points this year?
Yeah. So, should I go on like how last year went basically?
Yeah.
And then I'll tell this.
Yeah, go ahead.
So last year I didn't play Pokemon. I used to play hockey, and then I had an injury, so I can't play hockey anymore. So I was like, I played Pokemon like 2 years ago, I think. I took a year break to play hockey, right? And
Yeah.
then the injury happened, and then I was like, oh, well, I had nothing better to do, so I'll play Pokemon. So the new season starting, basically, and I just go to a few cups for fun. I don't think I'll get my invite or anything. And then I do get at the cups, 100 points rolls around, 200 points rolls around, 300 points rolls around, and I'm like,
You're like, this is
Jeez.
possible.
yeah,
I'm getting
because
there.
when I used to play, no offense to all the seniors now, but we have like really good seniors like Connor. Am I allowed to say
Preston.
last names? Yeah, Preston, Gabe, all those people. So technically, I got a free invite, but still, invite's kind of
So you
cool.
basically just
So-
kind of happened by accident, pretty much.
Basically, I wasn't gonna go for my invite this year until I did get at some cups, and I
You
was
got to
like,
like 200, and you're like, okay, we need to buckle down here.
well, at the beginning of the season, I didn't even know what like any of the new cards did or anything. So.
Oh man,
Yeah,
you're
I
making me feel
remember
weak.
that.
Oh my god.
I had to go to his house and just sit down with him and tell him what things did.
You're over there hooked on phonics and Pokemon.
Yeah.
Bro,
And
I
then
feel so bad right now.
I just exploded this season, basically.
Yeah, you
So-
definitely don't say it was free because you definitely put in some
Yeah,
work
you
for
played
that.
the games. It doesn't matter. Like, you showed up,
You played the
you knocked them
games,
down.
you
You
tested.
ain't the young phenom because you showed up and said, "Here's your 50 points." I mean, it might have happened once or twice, but you showed up, you knocked who was in front of you down, and you deserve a round of applause for that, bro. Don't
Yes.
take that away from yourself. You qualified
Yeah.
for Worlds, and basically, how does it feel? Does it feel like when you found out? I didn't know because you disappeared. But did you find out, like, what was the first thing that went through your mind when you're like, I qualified for Worlds?
I was like, Mom, I qualified for Worlds.
Oh, he called his mom. That's what's
No, I
up.
called my dad because my mom was with me.
Oh,
And I called my dad, and I said, I qualified for Worlds. And then I also called my grandma,
oh,
who just
snap.
recently... She just recently moved here, so... I wanted to tell her, and then she didn't really understand because she had 2 strokes previously. But she was like, "Oh, sweetie, that's so cool." And I was like, "Yeah, thanks, Grandma." And then I was like, "You know what? I want Taco Bell."
The freaking dinner of or lunch of champions. World. See, if you want your world invite, you just got to eat Taco Bell. Sponsor us. Hit me in the DMs.
Dominic, you know what's next though, right?
My day
We
2
gotta get
invite.
Nathan. We gotta get Nathan to his invite.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, we definitely need to get Nathan to his invite.
Bro, if we can get 2 players their invites in the chat on the podcast, oh, snap. We need a Masters, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Who's our
Look.
best
Well, I'm definitely
Masters?
gonna go for day 2 invite. That's definitely because
I thought you just said you weren't going for it.
no top 16.
Oh,
Unless
what's the difference?
Wait, well, how am I saying
I thought
right
16 was day 2.
now? No, day 2 is if you have double the amount of points. So we need 400. So we need 800.
I didn't
Wait.
know that's how it worked, but okay.
Where
Yeah,
am I sitting up?
You need double the points, but top 16 is you get the stipend.
Oh,
Yeah, so
money.
you get it.
I like
Yeah.
money. Who's our
Oh, I'm
best
20
Masters in
I'm
the chat right now?
21st right now in US and Canada.
Who's our
I'll
best
go-
master? It's between you, I, Joe, and Christian. If you want to count Christian.
Christian has a decent amount of CP, to be honest, though.
Yeah, Joe and I are taking this season off because Joe's judging and I'm doing
So
the
I'm
TOC.
second place by default because you guys are
Yeah.
judging. I feel so good. You know what? While you guys talk,
Look.
I'm pulling up my CP right now.
Look, don't let me come back to the game because I am playing in Dallas.
You won't. I already told you.
Don't.
See, you're the whole reason why I didn't quit on Pokemon last year, Mr. Let's Go for our invite, and then you quit like a month in.
Look, man, it's not even that. Look,
You literally
running it,
wouldn't let me quit.
yeah, and you're not quitting now.
Yeah, because now
Who's
I'm hooked.
Kristen?
Yeah.
Now I'm hooked.
But like now, running the YouTube channel, trying to get all of these things in order, setting up the
Hold
stream,
up.
working 3 jobs, also being a TO. Kind of just life happens. So I'm trying to get one of these. You know, I'm trying to get to a point where I can live without one of these jobs, and then I can have the time to go back into Pokemon. But for right now, life.
Alright, Pokemon is hosing me right now. It's trying to say I only have 20 points.
Probably because you only have 20 points. All I've been hearing is you getting scraped.
Bodied.
I love you. I'm sorry.
Alright,
I can
T
lend
will
you
not be in
some
next week's podcast.
I can lend you some.
Wow!
Bruh.
Wow,
He got an extra
alright,
22.
what is the next topic?
Uh,
Jeez. I'm
the
over
next
here
topic
getting
is
killed. But
next
in all
topic.
joke, congrats, Dom. I'm still gonna try to get my invite, even though London is huge. But I'm gonna try,
You got this.
Thank
We're
you. Thanks,
going to
guys,
London.
for saying.
bro. I'm gonna try,
Bruh. You got this, bruh. I believe.
bro. Unless I get a stipend, it's gonna be hard,
No, it's
Stipend.
not. You save the money now, and you gonna make it by August.
bro. I'm only making it if you make it. So either you do it or none of us are going.
Bruh,
Or-
I'm probably buying my ticket soon.
Yeah, I probably should buy my ticket.
Yeah, Brian
Anyways.
already got his ticket.
Rolling on to T, since this was your topic, I'll let you lead it away.
All right, everybody. Cosmic Eclipse pre-releases start this weekend, I believe. It's either this weekend or next weekend. I know my store is having 3 pre-releases starting next week. So I wanted to go deep on this set and just talk about it because we have a lot of good cards coming out. My top 5 picks right now are Great Catcher, Tag Whistle, the Charizard Breaks In, Tag Team GX, Bryson Man, which is disgusting in my opinion, and then Chaotic Swell. But then, like other notable cards are like the Lunala Solgaleo GX, which is basically a Reshizard for Malamar, and that's disgusting in my opinion. But then, like, one of the most hyped cards in this set is Reshiram Zekrom, which I think is going to be a disgusting deck and is going to change the way we play the game for a little bit. So I really wanted to talk about all of these cards. For those of you that don't know what any of the cards I just mentioned are, Great Catcher is discard 2 cards from your hand and you Lysander one of your opponent's GX Pokemon from the bench.
Lysander is you can switch. You get to choose one of your opponent's Pokemon to
It's
switch.
custom catcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just pick one, but it's only for GXs. So you
Yeah.
pull up a GX to the
And
active.
just for FYI, they don't start till next week.
Okay, so they don't start till next week.
The 19th is
But-
the earliest we can do it.
Yeah, but like I feel like that card is going to replace Custom Catcher in some decks because it
You don't
It
have to
means-
play 4 of it.
yeah, you don't have to play 4 of, you could just get away with 2, which means you have now 2 extra slots in your deck for like more consistency cards or like other techs that you want to play.
Or you play both
And-
and be like, hey. it's
Yeah,
not all.
I was thinking about playing both in Malamar, but I mean, it's really dependent because Malamar needs, extra discard cards to help you facilitate like discarding Psychic Energies, discarding Giratina, outside of just having, Viridian Forest that can get bumped.
Yeah,
and
without
then
Ultra
your
Ball and
foil
stuff, you're so
treasures.
reliant on treasures and
Yeah.
Why would you play?
Mm.
Why would you play Custom Catcher and Great Catcher?
because you're a
Uh,
sav and you want to kill whatever you want, bro.
I feel like Custom Catcher and Great Catcher are gonna be like played together in Greens decks, which is just
Because Great
disgusting.
Catcher is just GXs, isn't it?
Yeah,
So yeah, why wouldn't you play both? You play four
yeah,
customs because the customs also draw you some cards, and then you play
yeah.
the GX one because most of the top decks are GXs.
And a lot of the times you can just bring up Dedenes
Because
for other decks.
most of the decks we were before the rotation had what, three Guzmas anyway.
Yeah,
So now you're giving yourself three Guzmas or three
pretty much.
Lifesavers at least.
Um, yeah. Also, I feel like it's gonna make Pikarom really strong too. It makes Mewtwo a little bit better because it gives them an extra discard card. Um,
It also
it
gives
Well, you have to
Pikarom
discard
the
for
discard
the
effect
catcher.
of the energies for Coco.
yeah, you have to discard 2 cards and then you do it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so it's a really nice card. You could search
Yeah,
out
Malamar's
Volkner
gonna
for
love that
Pikarom.
card.
Yeah,
It's
like
basically
you can.
Ultra Ball, but it brings up some. That's so busted.
Yeah, like the card is great all around.
And
Um,
Malamar, because you can still use Esper to just knock out damaged GXs and stuff.
yeah, but now it's like if they have a damaged GX, you don't have to go for the Esper play. You can just bring it up
I
and
just
knock it
like
out
it
with the
because
Wolf.
like, you know how many checkmates happen after someone's at three catchers for whatever reason in the discard? They're just like,
Yeah,
oh, my whole bench is safe. Now that they can't do that, it takes away that comfort zone to where once three catchers are in the discard, they completely felt like the safest little baby back baby ever. Like they're like, oh, this is damage, retreat, attack with something else. Oh, this is damage, retreat again. Like they would just keep
yeah,
cycling and cycling, and then their whole
yeah,
bench was safe from everything. Because there's no spread really, and Shrine is
true.
not as popular as most people, including myself, would be.
I mean, it might come back soon.
I just don't know why it's not now. Oh, excuse
I
me.
mean, because ten's not a lot. I mean, it's good in Malamar, and I really like it in Malamar. And with the new Mimikyu coming out, it's kind of helpful. But the new Mimikyu doesn't stop Dedenne, which is why I don't think it's super great.
The new Blounds is kind of broke.
The new Blound's also a notable card, really nice. But let me go back to my top 5. So the second card on my top 5 is Tag Whistle, which is just you play it and it searches 2 tag team cards, which you search tag team Pokemon and now our new tag team supporter, which is disgusting because now you have a trainer card that gives you a supporter and a Pokemon, and then you can play said supporter. That's beautiful. I feel like it's a really good consistency card that like a lot of the tag team decks really needed. Like Pikarom benefits from this card. Reshizard can benefit from this card when it gets the new other breaks in Charizard. It also gets you like the red and blues tag team, so it helps out Dark Box a lot because I feel like Dark Box is going to play red and blue.
Dark Box isn't a deck.
It's going to be better. It's
Just
going to
trying
get
to
better.
not let Dark die. At some point, you're gonna have to play something else. Alright? You're gonna have to just put all your black sleeves, your dark shiny energy, you're gonna have to put it away in the lunchbox, bury it, spit on it, and then never play it again.
That's never happening.
You-
Anyways, so yeah, I think it's a really good consistency card, and I feel like a lot of decks are gonna play like maybe 3 or 4 of it because that's just really strong to have, especially with our supporters that we're getting. One of the supporters being Bryson Man, and I don't remember the other guy's name, so I'm not gonna butcher it. But what it says is you discard the top 3 cards of both players' decks. Which, if
Great.
anybody
Pidgeotto
remembers,
controls just better.
yeah, if anybody remembers Rocket's Handiwork was an average of 2. It's 2 for each heads you flip. So, and you do it twice. So max is 4 cards. This is a guaranteed 3. So I think that this is going to help Pidgeotto control not only in like their best of 3s, but like best of 1 too.
I was
Because this
just gonna
helps
say
you,
that.
yeah, this helps you facilitate the all right, now I'm going to deck you out combo. And even though it says both players just mill 3 cards, if you have no cards in deck, you can still do it. Because your opponent will still have cards in deck, so you just fulfill as much as you can. And then you Oranguru back 3 cards. So you're decking your opponent out. You're sitting there, you're calling them a name I will not say.
The B
But-
word.
Yes. And you're taking the game by storm. On that note, Chaotic Swell looks like a massive
gosh.
storm.
Chaotic Swell
Looks
is
like a
the
massive
best.
storm. Is a massive storm. Probably, like Dom said, probably one of the best cards in this set.
Bro, it's so broken in Mewtwo, especially because your opponent can't threaten you with Power Plant anymore.
Yeah, so it's a stadium that says if it gets bumped by another stadium, you discard the new stadium. So now your opponent can't threaten you with Power Plant. If you bump their Power Plant, you've now bumped 2 Power Plants because your Chaotic Swell will take over that Power Plant, and then if they play another one, that one's gone. So your opponent's going to have to start, some decks are going to have to start playing the new Marshadow to get around this, or they're just taking a hard L to Mewtwo Mew, and I feel like this is a really good card for them. Thoughts on that one, Dom?
Oh, I was just gonna say, it's hella good too because your opponent in Malamar, your opponent can't threaten you with Lysander Lab, so you hit them or you put Chaotic Swell down and then you hit them, and then they can't threaten you with Lysander Labs anymore.
Ooh, also a good point. I didn't even think about that. Then the Charizard Braixen is 3 fires and a colorless. It does 180, and then it searches your deck for 3 cards.
Any 3 cards, not items.
Any 3 cards.
Any.
So it's like Magical Ribbon from Sylveon GX. Yeah, Sylveon GX. But you also do 180 damage.
For 4 fire.
And then, yeah, for 4 fire, which, I mean, you're doing 50 less damage than Reshizard, but you're searching your deck for 3 cards. Also, it has no ability, so you can still play it in Green Zard. So, yeah, that card's new.
And while you're talking about that, really quickly, if I interject, I had this argument with mine where, obviously, that's probably just that's going right into Green Zard. He was saying that substitute Reshizard. What are your guys? Is it more of an addition or does it substitute it?
Addition. It's a one of. It's definitely not a substitute because 180 can't knock out big numbers like.
So this is more like
Reshizard
a glorified setup card.
It's more of so you can search it out. I don't even know if
like when's the time that you would want this out, or is it just too situational based to pick?
I think it's better in more Mew 3 and Ability Zard than Green Zard because you already have greens, so you don't really need to search out 3 cards. It's just kind of nice to have.
Do you think it's too much where if you greens and do that?
No, because the main goal of greens is to just go greens basically knockout.
True.
You don't want to go take the slow route, do 180. You want to go Flare Strike, Double Blaze, Martial Arts Dojo, knockout.
So you want that aggression with the control. And this one is just double control with that deck doesn't really do much.
Yeah, I'm sure some people will play it, but like...
It just kind of seems like greens plus that card has the making of being something kind of cancerous that I can't put my finger on it
I was
just quite yet.
I was just about to start something up. All right, so you want cancer? I got you. So if anyone remembers how Celosaur used to be played, where it's just you're taking hits and doing damage at the same time, and some Celosaur lists were playing like crushing hammers and whatnot. So now you can do the same thing if you make a deck around just this Charizard with welders to draw your disruption cards. But now you can also search like crushing hammers. You can search your custom catchers to bring something up to the active. You can search your great catchers, whatever you want for like your next turn. You can set up your supporter for the next turn, but you can also search like Lieutenant Surge, Chip Chip Ice Axe, and Mars, and start just doing disgusting things to your opponent's hand. And I feel like this is a card that can really facilitate those combos while also not being stopped by, all right, this is a deck that doesn't take prizes to do it. No, you can also just hit them and take prizes. So, like, I would play a Cancerous deck, like, four crushing hammers, maybe a Chip Chip, I'm not sure, but definitely like an Oranguru-ish type deck. And you can really see where it goes from there, making your opponent not enjoy playing the game. Like, you can play all of the heal cards too, like Mixter, Great Potions, Choice Helmets, so you're not immediately getting knocked out because you do still have that big 270 HP.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're taking hits, you're two-shotting all of the meta while healing and adding whatever 3 cards you want from your deck. And I feel like that's really strong and it has really great potential to do something in the game. So I feel like it could possibly overtake Reshizard in its own type of deck, but it can also just be splashed, like Dom said, as a one-of in Reshizard or one-of in Mew Mew, and still do well, or like a one-of or two-of in Ability Zard.
No. Definitely gonna be a one of a Mewtwo, because Mewtwo sometimes you just need that like mysterious treasure, that cherish ball you really need to hit that cross divide, or to hit that like the Flare Strike GX. And it's just gonna benefit.
Agreed.
Sounds pretty broken to me.
I forgot what my last card was, but I think my last card was like red and blue, and red and blue was, it's discard 2 cards. No, it's I know the second effect is discard 2 cards to search your deck for 2 basic energies.
And then the first effect is search your deck for a evolution Pokemon and evolve it. I think
There we go. Yeah.
to that Pokemon.
Search your deck for an evolution Pokemon and then evolve.
But
So,
you
like-
can't do it the turn you play it down. Obviously, turn 1.
Yeah. So for Dark, you're just, evolving your Weavile. Thank you very much. You're evolving your Weavile and then discarding 2 cards to search 2 dark energies and then put them on board for Weavile to move around. So I think that card's gonna help the consistency of Dark. I'm not sure if it'll make Dark a real top contender, but I feel like Dark needs all the help it can get.
So it seems like this says adding a lot of I can't say the word, but like additions to decks that we already have. We're not really getting like solid like decks out of this. It's more of a, this is going to be broken now because we have
Oh no,
this.
we are getting a solid deck. The Reshiram Zekrom deck is disgusting. If you don't know what the Reshiram Zekrom deck is, it's Reshiram Zekrom is for a fire and an electric It does 90 times the amount of fire and electric you discard from your board.
Oh,
So
snap.
it's like the Turtonator, the baby Turtonator, but you can discard fire and electric.
And you have Tapu Koko, and you have
And
Welder,
Mastodon.
and you have Enregal, and
I'm I'm not gonna lie. I didn't talk much because it's more of a I didn't really watch much of the video that they watched or looked, but from what I'm hearing, it seems pretty dope. Like it seems like we get some cool cards, some good additions, and I'm kind of excited for next week's pre-releases.
Yeah. And
the
then
name Reshiram is just lit.
Reshiram versus Reshizard. I can hear it now.
I feel like
Reshiram versus Reshizard or Pika Reshiram.
Did you have any?
I feel
I
like-
think you briefly mentioned your favorite cards, Dom. Did you have any that T didn't mention?
Reshiram's good. I like the Blounds, the psychic one, which
Oh, yeah.
is if you have I think is it you or your opponent?
if your opponent has 3.
Yeah, if your opponent has 3 prize cards remaining, put 12 damage counters anywhere you want. But if they have like 2 or 4, then put 4 damage counters anywhere you want. Or
That's pretty
psychic and a colorless.
good.
But I was thinking of a combo and like Naganadal control where you go Stinger, and then let's say your opponent doesn't knock you out, you go Blound and then put damage on stuff and finish it off with Venom Shot.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, you're getting spicy. I see it.
Spicy. Anything else you got to say about this? Because I honestly, besides little one-liners, I don't really have much to add.
All right. So the last, I want to say 2 cards I'll touch on. We do get the new Sylvalia in this set, which is basically Octillery and GX.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we do get a new draw support Pokemon. So if anybody doesn't know what that is, it's once per turn you can draw until you have 5 cards in your hand. It also has a really decent attack.
Is that a
It's the
basic?
old Gallade attack.
No.
It's a stage 1.
I guess it's the same. It's a GX though, right?
Right. Yeah. So it's searchable at least.
Yeah.
But it does have the Gallade attack, so it does 50 plus if you play the supporter that turn, it does 70 more, the one total. It's also a Sylvalia, so you can play the memory disc to make it change its typing because we still have the water one, so you can hit like Rushazard for weakness.
But you're
Oh.
not knocking out. You're 10 damage short.
You're 30 short. It's stupid. But I forgot to mention
Wait.
the Reshiram is a dragon type.
Ooh.
So that's always nice. It's searchable by Mysterious Treasure.
And it dies to Guardian.
And it dies to Guardian.
But if that's it,
Debatable if Guardian even gets
if
to
that's
it.
it, I want to touch on one last thing before we wrap, if that's cool with you guys. Because we kind of skipped the topic and I didn't realize till just now.
Oh, yeah.
We'll briefly talk about the cups that just happened this weekend. But I'm going to let Dom, who's been dying to talk about his report at the local Modesto Cup that we had in my local shop over here. Shout out to Utopia Games. Why don't you go ahead, Dom? Start off your little report.
Okay, so I played Greenzard. As you guys know,
Shocker.
I love Greenzard. Deck's busted. In my opinion, it was the perfect 60, but I don't know. But let's go into the report. So round 1, playing against Ability Zard. I prized my hood, but he also had 2 Ninetales in his hand, and he couldn't deny him away. So basically what I did that game is it was a lot of draw, attach, pass mainly, and I went draw attach pass, and he went basically same thing until when I got custom catcher onto a Reshi. That's basically how the game goes. Whoever knocks out a Reshi first basically wins. So I won that game. Round 2, I played against Pikaron. There was a judge call that happened that game that went my favor that I didn't know ruling on, but apparently it's good if you call it and you need a tie, but I don't know. But so what happened? I'll just go over the game first. So we're just playing normally and stuff, and he gets set up. I was dead drawing pretty bad, but I still needed some. It still was a pretty lengthy game, you know. And then time gets called right as he announces attack. I don't draw my card yet, and I call judge because I didn't know whose turn it was. And then the judge comes over and says, "Have you your card yet?" And then I said no. He said, "Well, he was turn. You haven't started your turn until you draw a card." And I was like, oh, "Okay, so turn 0, turn 1," and he didn't have enough custom catcher, so it resulted in a tie. And then game 3, I ended up playing against Nathan, the one on the in the group chat and one that always streams. Make sure to check out the stream.
Wait,
Break
Nathan
even
was
TCU.
there?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was there, and then he knew he wasn't gonna get points, so he just scooped to me, and then I ended up getting second, which pushed me to my invite at 414, and then the next day there was a cup in Fresno, so I went to that. Can you figure what I played? Green
Quagsire.
side. Even now. So, cup in Fresno. Hold on, let me pull it up on notes. I have it. Okay, so round 1 I play against Ability Zard again. Okay, so this kid, well, he kind of misplayed. So at the end, I put Hood on. I had a Hood on a Reshi, and I put down a Lysander Labs just so he couldn't retreat his Jirachi. And I realized he could have knocked me out with Ninetales. He could have used 9 Temptation since Hood isn't available. Doesn't work anymore, so I was like, shoot. And he didn't notice it, so next turn I just went double greens, double custom catcher, knock out a Reshi for game. And then I was like, okay. And then round 2 I played against Mew 3, Jirachi version. He kind of dead drew. I kind of didn't dead draw. So, guess you know how that goes. I won. And then round 3 I played against Ultra Necro. And then it was a pretty close game. It came down to if he could hit double custom catcher Necrozma. And he hit double custom catcher Necrozma, so he ended up winning that. So GG's to him. He ended up, I think his name's Connor, LA or something. And he ended up getting his invite from that. So shout outs to.
Nice. And just to go over, I actually have, since we just talked about Fresno, we'll go over that one first. The top 8 for Masters. We had Reshi Greens. I don't believe this is how it ended up winning. I think Reshi Greens won the whole thing, right? Gabe won?
Yep.
But before top 8 was finished, Gabe, or Reshi Greens, Pikarom, Mew Mew, Pikarom again, Reshi Greens again, Mew Mew, Pikarom, and Reshi Greens. So it looks like it was a lot of the same decks in top 8 with Reshi Greens ended up taking it versus, I'm not sure what he beat in the finals.
I don't remember either.
I'm sure, I think it was Judge Rom, it looks like. But either way, Fresno looks like it was just a bunch of Reshis, Pikas, and Mew Mews. So that was pretty crazy. They had a pretty good turnout over there. Shout out to them. And I
I was gonna say congrats to Gabe for getting that cup win. Even though, I do give him a lot of slack. I do appreciate him as a player.
Hmm.
He kind of wants to be on the podcast, but we'll talk about that at a different.
Shout out
But
to Gabe. Gabe's the homie.
That's a good, and he's been. I'm not gonna not to throw shade. He's been, I'm sure to his standards lately, as far as what I know, underperforming. I haven't seen his name show up in too many top eights. I could be wrong, or if he was in top eights, it was like a one and done.
He's popping off this year.
yeah, he's actually been doing pretty
It
well.
cups. Cups
Oh,
don't really
maybe
matter,
I've
but
just been
I'm not
looking at
gonna
the
take
wrong
away.
ones. Or at least the ones
I'm not
I've
gonna
been to,
say-
I haven't seen him do good at. I mean, he's
Yeah.
beaten me at a few, but it was just bad matchups where he was just playing something that just countered me.
Yeah,
But this is pretty much to be expected from me. I don't know about you guys as far as the cup goes. That like I could have probably woke up and told you what was top 8. Nothing really too shocking to me personally. And then moving on to the local cup, we had
Modesto.
local Modesto. We had Guardian taking it, which is pretty crazy. Guardian with the Xerneas GX. And if you want to see these deck lists, it's going to sound like a shameless plug, but the Utopia Games and Collectibles Facebook page, shout out to them. We
they're
have all
posted
8,
on Paypal.
I believe it's all 8 of the deck lists with the people. If you want to go check that out, we'll try and link that possibly. But if not, just type in that name in the Facebook, and we have a group, and you can just a store site. You can just check it if you want to see all the 8 lists. But we had Guardian taken first, which I didn't even know there was a Guardian doing good, to be honest, because I was kind of in like that mid-range because I played at this one. And I would have got dumpstered on my Guardian because he played 4 power plants.
Wait, what were you playing?
I was playing Quack, dog.
Well, there's your first problem.
I get into grooves where I like a deck and I don't want to switch.
Me and Malamar right now.
And we had second place, we had Mew Mew with Gage. Pretty good, pretty cool guy from the few times I've talked to him.
Yeah, really dope guy.
We had, what the flip is this? I think this is Pikarom. Yeah, this is Pikarom. He has the alternate art Pikarom, so I couldn't tell what the heck it was. Pikarom, we had a third place, Alexandra. Fourth place, we had another Pikarom. Fifth place, we had the boy Jacob from Fresno,
cool.
local.
Also playing Guardian.
Yup, 5th and 1st.
Bruh.
And 6th, we had Dan, who probably has the coolest last name I've ever seen. Sweet
He
Man.
is a sweeter man. Yeah.
Sweet Man. Playing Baby Blounds. I didn't know this was at my tournament. I played against someone who used one of these cards. The Fossil guy used one of those as his GX marker. Like those Pokemon Snap type old cards.
Yeah.
They must be homies. And 7th, we had Brian with Blacephalon GX with some spicy text in there. Played some stuff like Beastbringer, Girafarig, and stuff.
Man,
Get lost.
And then 8th place to round it out, we had Ming with another Pikarom. So I think that's what, 4 for Pikarom?
I think so.
1.
Wait, did Raymond make top?
No. 2,
No.
3. We had 3 Pikarom in top 4, 2 Guardians, looks like only 1 Mew, and then we had the Baby Blounds and then the big Blounds.
But yeah, shout out to the anti-paywall group chat with Dan and Alejandro.
Oh shit, shouting out group chats. Well, we had, being there personally, we had 66 players, which is a nice turnout over here in Modesto. We're not the biggest of cities, but we like to put out some good tournaments, and it looks like you guys like to come. So if you're in the area, come check us out. Same with Fresno. They run some good tournaments out there, especially now that we have the judging. Like, the California judging we've talked about a few podcasts ago is stepping up left and right, so I'm very proud of that.
Coming soon.
I just realized this Guardian dude played Giant Bomb. That's pretty freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think out of the two cups? Anything? I know we're getting close to wrapping it up, but did anything shock you?
In
I
seniors,
would.
Guardian won Modesto too.
Oh snap! Really?
Oh wow,
Double
that's
Guardian.
crazy. I
It
was
was just a
actually.
good medical.
I'll give it that. You know, I was actually really shocked to hear the person specifically topping. But then when I heard they were playing Guardian, I was like, man, all right, I
What, do
feel
you know
you.
the person?
I know everybody, you know this.
So you're
But
like,
it was
this
like,
bomb. No, I'm playing.
no, it was just like I haven't heard him top in a while, so it was really nice to see.
Oh, so if you ever heard
He's a-
me topping, you're like, oh, what busted list did he copy?
Yeah, I was like, did he finally take my list?
Well, yeah, it's
I was
been-
like, if I
I'm
ever,
not gonna lie. There's
if
some
I ever
lists
hear
that
Michael,
I didn't even know were there that made it. Like I didn't know there was a Baby Blonde's doing good, or two Guardians.
yo, Greens Blacephalon, come on now. I don't know what Brian is on, but you know he can pass a little of that something.
Yeah.
But hearing Greens Blacephalon top is wild. Hearing Baby Blacephalon top was actually wild in my opinion. For California, we've been like really Malamar heavy, so hearing another one prizer deck make it and not Malamar is kind of a shock.
Yeah.
But other than that, like the rest of it I can kind of understand. The Mew Mew Pikarom. Yeah. All of that's pretty normal. Guardian's disgusting. I feel like
well,
any deck that can play cards that auto win matchups is just like a really nice deck to have.
mhm.
Especially if you're not ready for it, then good luck.
Alright.
Yeah, well, did we cover about everything?
Yeah, I think that's about it. There's a cup this weekend. Any of you guys going to it?
Me.
Let me guess. You're playing Green Zard.
I don't know, am I?
Here's look. If you're a senior and you're playing in local California cups, tech for Green Zard if there's a tech for it. I don't know if there is, but find it.
Yeah,
How
tech
do you
for Green
tech for a
Zard,
deck
because I'm
that
playing
searches
Green
for-
Zard.
You're not gonna switch. Don't try and debate people.
No, but I mean, like, how do you tech for a deck that searches its answers to everything?
Supporter lock them. I don't know. Play
You're right.
Sableye if it's still legal.
That's like Blockade Executor. Let's go.
But I think that's it. This is going to be a little bit of a long one, which I'm kind of happy about. I'm not going to lie. I think we covered a lot of stuff to, sit back, absorb, and really quickly, since we have UT, any confirmation on the Spotify stuff yet, or no?
What's today? The 10th? I don't find out till tomorrow.
Awesome. So next podcast, or maybe when this is uploaded, we'll put some stuff in the comments that we'll let you guys know. But once again, thank you guys for coming. Thank you, T. Thank you, Dom, the young phenom, aka Mr. Steal Your CP. Congrats again on getting your Worlds invite. And
Yes.
Thank you.
we'll catch you guys next week with the podcast again. See
Yep.
ya. Deuces.
Deuces.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like the video, leave a comment of what you want to see next, and subscribe. T here from the Break Even TCG channel, signing out.